As a country grappling with a multifaceted security crisis, Nigeria finds its present marred by past missteps. For too long, security considerations were treated as separate from economic growth, national development, and social cohesion. This fragmented approach has had dire consequences, leaving the country vulnerable to escalating violence and instability. The current administration's approach, or lack thereof, to security raises concerns. The neglect of this crucial aspect stands in stark contrast to the efforts of previous governments, further exacerbating the situation. This lack of a unified strategy, one that recognizes the interconnectedness of security, development, and societal well-being, lies at the heart of Nigeria's current predicament. The consequences of these policy failures are tragically visible across the country, from the farmer-herder clashes that have plagued the Middle Belt to the insurgency ravaging the North-East. The effects of this fragmented approach are deeply entrenched. The human cost is immeasurable, with countless lives lost and communities torn apart. It is within this context that we must examine the specific challenges facing Nigeria. The violence in Plateau State, the resurgence of Boko Haram and ISWAP in Borno State, and the growing insecurity in Kebbi State all underscore the urgent need for a fundamental shift in Nigeria's approach to security. Plateau State, once known for its serene beauty and rich cultural tapestry, has become a tragic example of Nigeria's wider struggle with ethnic and religious tensions. The recent surge in violence, particularly the Boko's killings, has laid bare the deep-seated divisions that threaten to unravel the very fabric of society. Up to 100 lives have been lost in the recent unrest, with more than 2,000 people displaced from their homes. The targeting of the Berom population raises chilling echoes of the ethnic cleansing witnessed in neighboring Benue State. These attacks are not isolated incidents. They are symptomatic of a wider pattern of violence fueled by historical grievances, competition for resources, and a climate of impunity. The inability or unwillingness of the government to address these underlying issues has allowed tensions to fester, creating fertile ground for violence. The security forces, often stretched thin and lacking resources, struggle to contain the violence, leaving communities vulnerable to attack. The situation in Plateau State serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of unchecked ethnic and religious animosity. It is a microcosm of the challenges facing Nigeria, a country where deep-seated divisions, if left unaddressed, threaten to erupt into wider conflict. A key driver of Nigeria's security crisis is the widespread availability of illegal arms. The government's inability to control the flow of weapons across its borders has empowered non-state actors, fueling violence and instability. From sophisticated assault rifles to locally made firearms, the sheer volume of illegal arms in circulation is staggering. Groups like Boko Haram, ISWAP, and criminal gangs have exploited this ready access to weaponry, significantly enhancing their capacity for violence. The Lakurawa in Kebbi State, for example, have terrorized communities, highlighting the direct link between the proliferation of arms and the escalation of insecurity. This influx of weapons has also exacerbated existing conflicts, turning what might have been localized disputes into deadly clashes. The proliferation of small arms has empowered individuals and groups, undermining the state's monopoly on violence and further eroding its legitimacy. This failure to control the arms trade is not just a security issue, it is a governance failure. It speaks to the weakness of Nigeria's border controls, the lack of effective law enforcement, and the pervasiveness of corruption. Addressing this issue is not just about seizing weapons. It requires a comprehensive approach that tackles the root causes of the illicit arms trade. In Borno State, the heart of the Boko Haram insurgency, a chilling resurgence of violence is underway. Despite years of military operations, Boko Haram and its rival ISWAP have regained strength and operational capacity, posing a significant threat to the region's fragile peace. Governor Zulum, who has witnessed firsthand the devastation wrought by these groups, has warned that Borno is losing ground. His concerns are not unfounded. Boko Haram now controls significant territory, including Abadam, Guzamala, Marte, and parts of Mobar LGAs, echoing the dark days of 2014 when the group held sway over vast swathes of territory. Several factors have contributed to this resurgence. The redeployment of military units to other conflict zones has created security gaps that Boko Haram and ISWAP have been quick to exploit. Additionally, the withdrawal of Niger from the Multinational Joint Task Force in March 2025, citing its own internal security challenges, has further weakened regional efforts to combat the insurgency. The consequences of this resurgence are dire. Civilians bear the brunt of the violence, subjected to attacks, abductions, and displacement. The humanitarian crisis in the region has deepened, with millions in need of assistance. The situation in Borno State is a stark reminder of the tenacious nature of the insurgency and the need for a sustained and multifaceted approach to counter it.